Hello, everybody. Exactly 60 years ago today, the rebuilt cathedral at Coventry was consecrated. On the 14th of November 1941, the Germans had launched a huge air raid against the city. 500 bombers dropped incendiaries for 12 hours. More than 4,000 homes were destroyed, over 500 lives were lost, and the cathedral itself blew up in a great big fireball. This kind of totally destructive bombing has sadly become so much more familiar and immediate a memory for us as we hear so much about the same thing, similar thing, happening in Ukraine at the moment. As you know, the new cathedral opened in 1962, was built on the site of the old cathedral, adjacent to it anyway, and the purpose of this was to offer a sign of hope. It isn't that the cathedral plays down the desperate nature of what happened. The Angel of the Agony, the wonderful mosaic by Stephen Sykes of Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane, emphasizes the pain of that night's bombing. The whole way in which the cathedral is structured around the words "Father, forgive," on the wall behind the altar in the ruins of the old cathedral, reminds us of the recognition that we're all involved in this pain. It isn't "Father, forgive them." And two bits of the charred remains of beams from the roof were made into a cross, which have become a central feature of the cathedral. So there is a recognition of the pain, of the agony of that night. But as I say, the building of the cathedral was designed as a symbol of hope. The decision to do it was made the day after the bombing, not as an act of revenge or defiance, but as a sign of hope, although it took many, many years for the building to be finally completed. And in it, there are signs of hope. There is the statue, the sculpture by Jacob Epstein at the door of the archangel defeating Lucifer with his foot on the head of that representative of evil. And the three famous crosses made, three famous nails from the roof made into a cross, so that the cross of nails has also become a feature of the life of the cathedral today, and replicas of this cross of nails have been sent out to many hundreds of organisations all over the world, all devoted to peace. And regularly they say together the Coventry Liturgy for Reconciliation, the commitment to work for peace in whatever way is suitable for that particular organisation. And so we have in the cathedral this paradox between recognising the pain and still maintaining some hope. And I think that must be our way of approaching Ukraine at the moment. We cannot deny the terrible suffering of the people of Ukraine, and indeed is likely to be the consequent suffering of millions of people all over the world as trade and food supplies are disrupted. But at the same time, we need to cling on to some hope that out of this desperate situation, something positive will emerge. This holding together of the pain and the hope is something not unfamiliar to Christians, of course, as we hold together frequently in our minds the paradox of Christ dying on the cross and rising from the grave. And belief in Jesus' resurrection gives us confidence that the hope that we have isn't just a vain and empty one, but that God is on our side. But whether we're Christian or not, we need to hold together this ambiguity, this paradox, and hold out some confidence that as the people in Ukraine show such bravery and courage in spite of such terrible bombardments, something positive, some kind of new relationship across the world, some kind of way of dealing with those who, like Putin, threaten to disrupt the world's peace, will emerge.